to our planet is our belief that somebody else is going to come along and save it. Now, we can either sit back, do nothing, and watch while our planet gets destroyed, or we can take action, become advocates, and start making the lifestyle choices that are responsible and which are kinder to the planet and its people. In an era where responding to the public's demand through more sustainable alternatives is pivotal, the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has been a pioneer in mainstreaming sustainable practices into the nation's property industry and greening up the surroundings as well as the economy as a whole. With this prestigious gathering and the timely aim that leads us to this very evening, the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka marks this occasion as a moment of celebration of their achievements towards the betterment of our nation, and as a platform to launch novel and more vigorous ways in which we can achieve the goals of sustainability in the world. The concept of sustainability is about consuming the world's resources responsibly so that we save enough for the future generations to consume as well. Now, it is not a new concept. It has been in discussion for the last 2 decades or so, and we have come no closer to a solution other than to work together as one. In this new normal of the pandemic, sustainability is no longer just an option, but it must be the priority towards which we all must work towards. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my immense pleasure, therefore, to welcome all of you to the annual Green Building Council Awards 2020 and to the ceremonial launching of the concept of Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign.
The genesis to all life and the world as we know it. Mother Nature was here long before humans. The innate purpose of mankind was to protect her and all her creations. Amidst massive leaps in industrial development, the most intelligent creation of Mother Nature lost sight of their responsibility towards protecting her. Prospering in wealth and in technical advancements, humans outgrew the humanity and decency in the way of living. Man's rat race beyond economic greed irrecoverably ravaged on beautiful Mother Nature. And then she finally started to crack, commanding respect and protection, unable to hide the scars of industrialization, commercialization, and urbanization centralized around human lives. With the fate of our globe resting on our heads, it was clear that sustainability was the only felicitous approach for the very survival of Earth without compromising economic development and infrastructure progression. A wave of dire need and desire for more energy efficient and environmentally friendly building practices swept across the globe, birthing the revolutionary and contemporary green building movement, prioritizing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Still, Sri Lanka showed defiance in terms of sustainability and development efforts, resolving only to the destructive construction practices. With the ensued horrendous environmental calamities, Sri Lanka was compelled to advance from conventional building practices to better environmentally friendly construction methods. Marking a doyen juncture in the modern Sri Lankan Green Movement, a group of concerned local expertise assembled to initiate the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka on the 25th of November 2009. Planting the seeds of Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, the founding chairman, Professor Priyan Mendis, pioneered the sustainable vitality, opening the forum for global green building and sustainable developments within Sri Lanka. Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has attained the membership of World Green Building Council, becoming the only Sri Lankan professional body honoured with the prestigious membership. Currently, under the chairman of eminent Professor Ranjit Dissanayaka, a plethora of dedicated industrial giants and elite pillars in the academia directs all operations of Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, enriched with their guiding watchful eyes, assuring the quality in all accomplishments. Marking a decade since the initiation of this noble effort, let's take a brisk glance at the journey made by the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, being an appendage of Chamber of Construction Industry, CCI, together with the recognition of Construction Industry Development Authority, CIDA, furnishes its local professional working relationships in the industry. Green SL rating certification for new and existing buildings. Green SL labelling certification for sustainable building materials. Associate Professional Training Program and Advanced Training Program for accredited green consultancy. And corporate social responsibility takes a prominent place among the noble services rendered by Green Building Council of Sri Lanka to the nation. With the assistance of technical network and expert reviews adhering to the globally set regulations, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has proudly pioneered a myriad of homegrown rating guidelines, ensuring that sustainability is reflected in all aspects of the built environment. Marking a decade of meritorious green commitment, it is vividly clear that the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has truly spearheaded the green movement in the nation, and Greening Sri Lanka, the strategic plan for the upcoming decade, will mark an iconic milestone in the sustainable development across the country. We, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, invites all Sri Lankans to join hands in attaining the noble goal of a greener Sri Lanka. Mother Nature will be ensured to prosper long after us with every effort of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, the committed leadership in sustainability.
Light and the lighting of lamps symbolizes good blessings and fortune and good fortune in many cultures, including ours. And so, to very auspiciously inaugurate today's ceremony for the very non-traditional, very virtual lighting of the oil lamp, I would like to cordially invite Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Prime Minister of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, Ms. Tanya Cox, the Chairperson of the World Green Building Council, Mr. S. Raghupati, the Chairman of the Asia-Pacific Regional Network of the World Green Building Council, Architect Lee Siang Tai, Executive Director of the Building Construction Authority of Singapore, Professor Sarath Kotagama, Professor Emeritus of the University of Colombo, Professor Priyan Mendis, Founder Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Professor Ranjit Disanayake, Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Dr. Lochana Gunaratna, Vice Chairman, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Architect Jayantha Pereira, Vice Chairman, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Engineer Shiromal Fernando, Vice Chairman, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Architect Chandana Edirisuriya, Vice Chairman, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Brigadier Madhura Vijay Vikrama, Vice Chairman, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Architect Planner P.L. Silva, Vice Chairman, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Professor Chitra Vedikara, Director of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Professor Ajit Alvis, Director, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Dr. Janaki Kuruppu, Director, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Mr. T.B. Sirivardhana, Director, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Mr. Lionel Navagamur, Director, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Engineer Chandana Dalagura, Director, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, and Engineer Mahendra S. Jalath, also Director, Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, to join hands with us in our very non-traditional, very virtual lighting of the oil lamp. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay to attention for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Abba Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. All great initiatives require to be consistently backed, supported, and driven towards excellence. The Green Building Council of Sri Lanka also has such a spearhead and a driving force. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, its pillar of strength, Professor Ranjit Dissanayake, to officially welcome the attendees.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our chief guest today, Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, the guest of honors, Mrs. Tanya Cox, the chairperson of the World Green Building Council, Mr. S. Raghupati, chairperson of the Asian Network of World Green Building Council, Professor Sarath Kotagama, our special guest, architect Lee Tan, Executive Director, Building Construction Authority in Singapore, Mr. Yang, Commercial Director, Siam Sri Lanka Private Limited, Board of Directors, all the participants, especially the winners of the today awards, and ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th Annual Green Building Awarding Ceremony and ceremonial launching of the Green in Sri Lanka 2130. I am pleased to congratulate those who are graduating today as associate professionals and accredited professionals of Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. They are the future architect of sustainable building in this country. And there are so many products will be certified and so many building will be certified as a greener building and a greener product. So I would like to congratulate the manufacturers as well as the building owners for their great achievement. This is the first awarding ceremony that we are having on digital platform. In order to respect the health guideline due to the COVID-19, keeping the social distance and etc., we are going to have the virtual annual Green Building Awarding Ceremony. At the 9th Annual Green Building Awarding Ceremony of Sri Lanka, I am proudly present you the launching of the Green in Sri Lanka 2021-2030. The aim of this campaign is to facilitate the sustainable based economic development in Sri Lanka by providing homegrown and cost-effective green solution to make the sustainable built environment totally sustainable while ensuring the enhancement of quality, efficiency and productivity and the profitability in all development activities and business performance. In line with the national and internationally accepted norm and standard. This is the biggest campaign ever launched in Sri Lanka as a holistic approach to ensure the best environment performance of the built environment with the aim of achieving the projected goal by 2030. I am delighted to state here today that now Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has its own homegrown rating tools which are internationally accepted, such as home, buildings, road, office, as well as we have our own rating tool for the building material certification also. So we go for the eco-labeling system. I am pleased to specially announce that our main sponsor, Siam Sri Lanka Limited, being the sponsor for the last few years, has a very special obligation on behalf of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. I wish to offer my heartiest gratitude to the chief guest and the guest of honor, special guest, all the participant volunteers and valued sponsors, their total dedication and the continuous support. I would like to encourage the delegates to stay tuned with us until this wonderful program is over. I wish you will have the fruitful and wonderful event. Let us work together, betterment of our motherland. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those words of inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2020 has almost come to an end. And even though this year wasn't the greatest, and even though this year was filled with trials and tribulations, the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has managed to thrive despite adversity, yielding many green initiatives and advocates for the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now have a look at the annual review for 2020 for the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Great buildings cannot be built on shifting sands. Similarly, strong establishments cannot last without strong foundations. Someone for whom we are forever grateful for giving us that foundation is none other than our founding chairman. I now cordially invite the founding chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Professor Priyan Mendes, to address the attendees.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening around the world, and thank you for the opportunity to speak at this very important occasion, the Green Building Awards 2020, and the ceremonial launch of the very important Greening Sri Lanka 2021 to 2030 campaign. It's the first time this type of thing is launched in Sri Lanka, and it's a good lesson for other countries as well. So congratulations to the Green Building Council. We proudly celebrated the 10 years in 2019. I was very fortunate to be there in Kandy. We had a very good occasion, and we all celebrated that very proud moment. So unfortunately, this time, of course, I can't be there. And we had a very challenging year in the world. And however, when we talk about the green buildings, we introduced the healthy building concepts long time back. The whole green building family around the world introduced those concepts. Now, this is coming in a very big way to now every building in the world. So we are all very prepared. So the green buildings naturally have that the healthy aspects of a building. So there are many other things, as we know, as pointed out in many other forums, the advantages of the green buildings. So with this, in fact, we are all now used to the remote ceremonies and also the events and so on. So that's a positive thing coming from this the post-COVID world. So I had to congratulate Professor Disanayake, Mr. Nawagamo, and the whole GBCL SL team using this new technology to launch a very important, wonderful event, well organized, and then continue with the traditional Green Building Awards, and also adding the ceremonial launch in this occasion. Now, congratulations to all the winners. Now, these awards are extremely important, and the winners have done something special. They have done something more than others. Even their buildings or other projects are one notch above the usual building. So the winners, while congratulating all the winners, I have to say that you all had to be very happy and proud that we have done something to the environment and to the future generations. Now, finally, to talking about the GBCSL, And the Green Building Council, with all this, with the challenges this year, have been a very active, one of the most active councils in the world. I didn't see much from many other councils, but we continue with the Green Talk, continue with many other events right through the year. So again, congratulations to our present chair, Professor Disanaika, and also the whole team for not only having this event, but also all the other activities. So finally, again, congratulating all the winners, and you all must celebrate, and thank you for the opportunity to give this short speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those wonderful words, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Siam City Cement, our event partner and sponsor for today, has proven to be good corporate citizens by committing themselves to operate in a socially responsible manner, staying true to their core values of continuous innovation, sustainability, and quality. I now cordially invite Mr. Jan Unick, Executive Vice President and Marketing and Sales Director of Siam City Cement, to address the attendees.
INSEE is a proud member of the Siam City Cement Group Public Limited, a leading cement manufacturer in Southeast Asia. The Siam City Cement Group provides world-class construction materials to a host of countries around the world. This includes Cambodia, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka. With a plethora of landmarks and buildings that define the skylines of these countries, the Siam Cement Group pledges to be a role model in corporate governance and sustainable development. INSEE Cement, Sri Lanka's premier cement manufacturer, is the brand behind our country's leading cement products and the driving force behind making Sri Lanka more sustainable. With a reputation built on outstanding performance in the quality of our products, unparalleled customer service, the dedication of our employees, our respect for the communities in which we operate, and our ambition to set the standards for the industry of tomorrow, we have contributed to the growth of Sri Lanka with iconic developments across the island. Just to name a few: the Lotus Tower, Altair Residencies, the Colombo South Harbour, Southern Expressway, Mattala Airport, the Kalladi Bridge, the Kotalavala Defence University, Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium. INSEE has cemented its position as the most preferred local manufacturer of cement in Sri Lanka, with its widespread distribution network comprised of over 7,000 dealers in retail segment located island-wide. Today, we have 2 plants in Puttalam and Galle and 2 terminals in Galle and Colombo. INSEE's Sunstar brand is Sri Lanka's first cement product to be awarded the Green Labelling certification by the Green Building Council and was the first blended cement to launch in Sri Lanka. INSEE has a wide portfolio of cements and services to suit all your construction needs. The most popular among them: INSEE Sunstar, INSEE Mahavalley Marine Plus, INSEE Extra for mass pouring concrete, INSEE Rapid Flow Plus, INSEE EcoCycle, INSEE Concrete, Conwood by INSEE, state-of-the-art innovation and development facility. Having been a part of Sri Lanka for almost a decade, we will continue to build on our long heritage of shared loyalty, creating trusting relationships with our business partners, people and community, and delivering our promise of building the nation.
Thank you to Mr. Jan Unick and for Siam City Cement for making this event possible. Today's event would not stay true to its purpose without providing the attendees with an opportunity to enlighten themselves, which thus brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to the keynote session of today's ceremony. To introduce today's eminent keynote speaker, I very cordially invite Architect Jayantha Pereira, Vice Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka.
Ayubowan, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, I wish to introduce our keynote speaker today, and I'm honored to do that on behalf of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Architect Thai Lee Sheng is a practicing architect and urban planner, since 1990. His key projects won both local and international awards and was featured in a URA exhibition 20 under 45 in March 2004. He held the position as President of Singapore Institute of Architects from 2007 to 2009. In 2009, following his contribution to the design world, he was elected by the design industry as the first chairman of the Design Alliance in Singapore. In 2011, he was elected as president of Singapore Green Building Council. Architect Tai Lee Sing is a thought leader and strong advocate in the field of design. He was elected president of the Design Business Chamber, Singapore, from 2013 to 2016. He also started the Singapore Good Design Mark in 2014. Architect Tai Lee Sing is committed to expanding his contribution worldwide. In 2013, he was elected as a board member of the World Green Building Council. He was subsequently elected as and served as global chairman from 2016 to 2019. During this period, Architect Singh visited Sri Lanka and was the keynote speaker or the chief guest in our annual award ceremony, which was held in Kandy. From 2007 to 2016, Tai Lee Sing held the position of Group Managing Director of Ong & Ong Group, a multidisciplinary design firm of 900 strong professionals. He is also the board member of the Health Science Authority and Board of Trustees of the Singapore University of Technology and Design. In September 2018, Tai Lee Sing joined the Building and Construction Authority of Singapore as Executive Director of Building SG, an industry transformation initiative by the Government of Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Architect Tai Lee Sing, our keynote speaker today. Thank you.
Warm greetings to fellow GBC members of Green Building Council Sri Lanka. Thank you for having me speak at the 9th Annual Green Building Award Ceremony and the formal launching of Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. I share your joy and happiness in the event and wish you a very successful launch of the campaign. I wish to share with you a few thoughts about post-pandemic green cities. There is an inherent contradiction in this title because green cities should be healthy. And the very last place to expect a pandemic would be green cities. Clearly, many cities are not green, and it takes a pandemic to wake us up from our commitment to fight against climate change. Cities up to 2019 are clearly not doing well. Cities have taken over lives of many nations and become their cultural icons and opportunities of livelihood. Despite the glossy posters of city centers, many struggle against poverty and environmental degradation. COVID-19 exposes the structural weaknesses of many cities. During COVID-19, viruses spread like wildfire in high-density environments such as New York, London, and Hong Kong. Inadequacy of infrastructure hinder food distribution, and more detrimentally, healthcare services were under tremendous stress to cope with a whole population's needs. In the midst of COVID-19, we also witnessed something phenomenal. In April 2020, it was recorded that carbon dioxide emissions dropped to 2006 level. Carbon dioxide emission was reduced by nearly 1 billion tons. The world also used 6% less energy, and demand actually dropped by 20%. All these point to the fact that global warming can be overcome only if we change fundamentally our business as usual practices. Here, I would like to bring us back to one of the key directions of World Green Building Council since 2017, and it is none other than advancing net zero. This is a very important direction because without it, we can never meet the target of lowering global warming by 1.5 degrees Celsius. When we did a rough back-of-the-envelope calculation, taking into consideration the global building stock, we knew that anything less than net zero carbon will fall short of the target. Even so, we are taking an optimistic approach that we don't cause further deterioration to the environment. The World GBC defines net zero carbon building as one that is highly energy efficient with all remaining energy from on-site and or off-site renewable sources. We call for action that all new buildings must operate at net zero by 2030, and 100% of all buildings, new and old, must operate at net zero by 2050. The key principles to achieve this are: 1. Measure and disclose carbon. 2. Reduce energy demand. 3. Generate balance from renewable. 4. Improve verification and rigor. Singapore started our Green Building certification in 2005, and BCA made it mandatory in 2008. Today, 40% of all building stock achieve at least a basic Green Mark standard. We aim to achieve 80% by 2030. By being green is not enough. We now have to up the energy game towards net zero in response to World GBC's call. In the last 2 years, we embarked on research on the roadmap towards net zero and found that the best way to go is to take baby steps towards what we have coined super low energy buildings. We rolled out the new certification for SLEB to target up to 80% energy efficiency above the 2005 baseline target. We suddenly find that many building owners take up the challenge and were very encouraged. Finally, I leave you with an excellent example recently completed. It achieved a net zero carbon status in Singapore. As you are aware, Singapore, like Sri Lanka, is in a tropical belt. And we do struggle to balance the use of air conditioning with energy efficiency. SMUX, the name of the building, it is part of the facilities of Singapore Management University, and it achieved net zero carbon status with a few simple but effective strategies. It actively converted air conditioning spaces into natural ventilation spaces. It provided full on-site solar power energy for the remaining air-conditioned spaces. It innovated a new air conditioning solution through displacement or ductless solution to keep cold air nearer to the occupants. Finally, it used mass-engineered timber to reduce embodied carbon. I wanted to show you this example because I believe it is within our means to achieve the same. I would like to encourage you to do so. With this, I would like to conclude my speech and wish all of you good health and a great future. Thank you.
A very big thank you to architect Lee Siang Tai, our keynote speaker for the day. I'm sure our audience has been left with many points to ponder upon the conclusion of your lecture. So thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for a very special task on this evening, which is the ceremonial launching of the Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign. So, the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, being the pioneering organization committed for promoting environmental sustainability in Sri Lanka, has designed and developed Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign as its roadmap for achieving environmental sustainability in the country. The aim of this campaign is to facilitate sustainability-based economic development in Sri Lanka by providing homegrown and cost-effective green solutions to make the built environment totally sustainable, while ensuring enhancement of quality, efficiency, productivity, profitability in all development activities and business performances in line with nationally and internationally accepted norms and standards. This is the biggest campaign ever launched in Sri Lanka to ensure the best environmental performance of the built environment, including cities, commercial, industrial, and residential buildings, transport, infrastructure, and irrigation infrastructure, etc., with the aim of achieving its projected goals by the year 2030. By setting ambitious absolute targets, the Greening Sri Lanka campaign aims to maximize the chances of limiting global warming to below 2 degrees, ideally below 1.5 degrees, by drastically reducing operational carbon from built environments. This campaign provides a framework to develop flexible and universally viable solutions to all stakeholders to work towards achieving sustainable development goals as set out by the United Nations and realizing the aim of the Paris Agreement to achieve a climate neutral world by mid-century. I now very cordially invite the Board of Directors of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka to the virtual stage to participate in the proceedings. I now very cordially invite President Ranjit Dasanayake, the Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, to the virtual stage to present the project proposal of Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign. I also cordially invite Professor Sarath Kotagama to accept the project proposal of the Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign from the Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining hands with us. Professor Kotagama, we are not yet ready to let you go from our virtual stage. Professor Sarath Kotagama is a Professor Emeritus of Environmental Science of the Department of Zoology of the University of Colombo of Sri Lanka. He is also one of the nation's leading ornithologists. He was the recipient of many awards for his exemplary service to science, including the Vidya Jyoti Award, which is the highest recognition for scientists in Sri Lanka. He has received the President's Science Award for the years 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 consecutively for science publications of international standards. Professor Kotagama is also a former director of the Department of Wildlife Conservation of Sri Lanka. He is currently a scientific advisor to the Ministry of Wildlife Resources Conservation and the chairman of the BirdLife Asia Council, and he is also a council member of the Global BirdLife International. Professor Kotagama, I take great pleasure in inviting you to express your valuable thoughts on the Greening Sri Lanka 2021-2030 campaign.
Hi, everyone, to all of you. Let me first thank the Green Building Council for the honor of selecting me to receive the launch of the Green campaign for 2050. It is somewhat important at this point of time because we know that we are in a pandemic situation which has changed the thinking of almost everybody across the world. It has been a long campaign to enable to realize the environment needs, but the pandemic has made us come straight to the point. The Green Building Council for the last 10 years have been doing their best to ensure that Sri Lanka, as recognized by most parts of the world, do also recognized to change its structuring because we are in the beginning of a massive change, and do as much as possible to enable that our structures, the construction structures, buildings are green. I recall here many years ago, almost 5 or 6 years ago, one of my students who came to me and said that, "Sir, I am trying to implement what you taught me almost 25 years ago." Green Building Council rated that building as a platinum, which means that the potential to achieve what we can in this small country as the highest levels of greening the building constructions is possible. The commitment for that purpose exists among our architects, among our constructing fraternity, but we need to enable them to achieve this through a series of international standards. But before we go even to the international level, it was necessary that we set our global picture together with the local picture. And thereby the Green Building Council has enabled a series of 8 ratings or standard achievements that is necessary for the future in green building construction. Not limiting itself to just the construction industry and buildings, it has taken on itself the responsibility of campaigning for a good environment surrounding these structures and in many other places too. In this new campaign for the future, they have taken on themselves a very important responsibility of trying to give the message across to the people that we need to become environmentally friendly, because very much we realized that more than 60 or 70, depending on what figures you want to agree on, will be in constructed environments. Many of us are going to be in the built environment because the cities are going to increase. In a way, we are happy as environmentalists that this will be that way, because it means that it will release much of the land for nature. But at the very same time, we also have to realize that to feed the 60 to 70% of the increasing population within the cities, this land may have to be utilized. So to seek the right balance between the built environment and the natural environment is a very, very difficult task, but yet it needs to be achieved, because the future of this planet is very much dependent on that balance. So the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, trying to do it indigenously, to go towards the objectives of the World Green Building Council, which is zero carbon by 2050. This new direction is very much within the package of what is now referred to as, in the environmental field, decarbonization. It's a massive task. It's not easy at all. Linked with it is the idea of zero waste, and the most recent ideas have come to be, meaning that it has to be zero debris. So do you want to build over what you have, or do you want to build by destroying what you have? That is what the philosophy of zero debris, zero carbonization, zero carbon are all meant to be. So these are very detailed theoretical ideas which need to be given to every person who is in the industry, who is going to be the constructors, who are going to be the planners for constructing, who is going to put it together to finally find the structure, and all the others to appreciate what has been done. So this campaign is very much on that direction, because if you don't achieve that, whatever is done is not going to be appreciated, and if it is not going to be appreciated, it will never get into the right seats so that the right people will make the right decisions. So in conclusion, I am very happy that I have been associated with the Green Building Council, and hope to say that I would continue to give that assistance, and hope that Sri Lanka will be an example to the world in terms of how to do green building constructions. Blend it with nature, because we fortunately do have nature yet. Thank you.
The Greening Sri Lanka 2021 to 2030 campaign of Green Building Council of Sri Lanka is a comprehensive action plan for achieving environmental sustainability in Sri Lanka. The aim of this campaign is to facilitate sustainability-based economic development in Sri Lanka by providing homegrown and cost-effective green solutions to make the built environment totally sustainable, while ensuring enhancement of quality, efficiency, productivity and viability in all development activities and business performances, in line with nationally and internationally accepted norms and standards. This is the biggest campaign ever launched in Sri Lanka to ensure the best environmental performance of the built environment, including cities, commercial, industrial and residential buildings, transport infrastructure, rural infrastructure development and the irrigation infrastructure network, etc., with the aim of achieving projected goals by 2030. The campaign will call upon all public institutions, business organizations, cities, provincial and local authorities, professional institutions and community organizations etc. to take urgent, ambitious and immediate climate action towards decarbonizing the built environment while working towards achieving our primary objective that all buildings are to be net zero carbon in operation by 2050. By setting ambitious absolute targets, the Greening Sri Lanka campaign aims to maximize the chances of limiting global warming to below 2 degrees, and ideally below 1.5 degrees, by drastically reducing operational carbon from built environment. The campaign provides a framework to develop flexible and universally viable solutions for buildings within their portfolios, cities, provincial or regional boundaries. Today, we are a fully pledged green promoting and endorsing organization completely equipped with all necessary green rating tools, a team of highly talented practicing green professionals and the expertise on sustainability practices and green technology etc., which are the essentials for making Sri Lanka green and sustainable. Our strengths: being the pioneering organization in promoting green building concept and practices and certifying the environmental performance of the built environment in Sri Lanka. Today, we are a fully pledged organization completely equipped with all necessary green rating tools and highly talented team of green professionals which are the essentials for making Sri Lanka green and sustainable. The GBC Sri Lanka is a member of the World Green Building Council, WGBC, which represents around 75 countries ranging from developed to developing nations worldwide, making it the world's largest green movement. The World Green Building Council provides us with an important non-political global leadership and forum to discuss and share green knowledge and skills and to promote sustainable transformation of our construction industry. GBCSL is working closely with WGBC Asia Pacific Network, APN, for technical and technology cooperation in implementation of green building practices in the region.
Thank you, sir, as always, for your rousing words. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now move on to another important segment, which is the launching of the Green Pages, the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka's Directory of Products and Services. The present emerging trend of manufacturers in the construction industry being concerned on producing ecologically responsible materials and products, and the developers being vigilant of producing and purchasing green certified materials, is a positive sign in moving forward as a green nation. Under the circumstances, identifying this particular timely need, the Accreditation Board of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka decided to develop the Green Product Directory named Green Pages to enable consumers to easily find green certified building materials and products, and also to encourage manufacturers to produce more eco-friendly building materials and products. Ladies and gentlemen, please make way for the launching of the Green Pages of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the guest of honor of today's event, Ms. Tanya Cox, the chairperson of the World Green Building Council. Ms. Tanya Cox is a property expert with a passion for sustainability and has more than 15 years of experience as a non-executive director on boards as diverse as the Australian Paralympic Committee, Cricket New South Wales Advisory Board, and Music and Opera Singers Trust. She is currently director of a number of ASX-listed and unlisted companies, including the Green Building Council of Australia, and is a member of the New South Wales Climate Change Council as well. Ms. Tanya Cox, over to you, madam.
Greetings to the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, its members and participants for today's ceremony. I'm Tanya Cox, Chair of the Board of the World Green Building Council, and I'm very pleased to have been invited to speak with you this evening on behalf of World GBC. But before I move on, I'd like to congratulate the soon-to-be-announced winners of the Green Building Awards 2020 and to offer my compliments to the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka for launching its Greening Sri Lanka 2021 to 2030 campaign. Now, to give you an insight into who we are, the World Green Building Council is a global network of around 70 GBCs, including the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, and the network's 36,000 members. As a member of the UN Global Compact, we work with businesses, organisations and governments to drive the ambitions of the Paris Agreement and the UN Global Goals for Sustainable Development. We, through our members, are transforming the building and construction sector across 3 strategic areas to catalyse the uptake of sustainable buildings. Together with our network of green building councils, their members and partners, we're redefining sustainability in the built environment. This year on the 1st of September, the World Green Building Council Network launched our new strategy, Sustainable Buildings for Everyone, Everywhere. This strategy has broadened our goals from our past focus on the environmental impacts of the built environment to a broader concept of sustainability, which encompasses the social and economic impacts of our sector. Through a lengthy global consultation, we identified 3 impact areas for our sector, being climate action, health and well-being, and resources and circularity. We then agreed North Star goals for each of these impact areas for 2030 and 2050. These North Star goals are extremely ambitious, and we invite you, as built environment professionals, environmentalists, and global citizens, to elevate your ambitions with us. You may not be aware that the building and construction sector is responsible for 39% of global carbon emissions. By 2060, the global building stock is expected to double in area. This means we're currently building a city the size of Paris every week. Our 2050 North Star goal is that all new buildings, infrastructure, and renovations achieve net zero embodied carbon, and all buildings, including existing buildings, generate net zero operational carbon by 2050. The role of green building councils around the world is vital to the success of decarbonising the built environment. GBCs have taken the responsibility upon themselves to provide their countries with innovative, sustainable solutions and a roadmap to achieve this goal, so that the companies, organisations, governments and citizens of every country can make informed decisions in the fight against climate change. We're grateful that the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka has taken this responsibility up over the last several years, and we look forward to working with GBC Sri Lanka to achieve this goal. So what should we be doing now? GBCs will continue to reach out to their local markets and advocate for healthy, equitable net zero buildings. But for both new and existing buildings, net zero operational and embodied carbon emissions can be achieved by reducing energy demand through increased energy and material use efficiency, by meeting the remaining energy demand with renewable energy, and using low carbon materials in construction processes. In my role as chair of World GBC, I feel privileged to see so much global connectivity and ambition. We've come a long way, and our success today is due to the dedication and ambition of our GBCs and their members. I'm humbled by your leadership and have no doubt that our collaboration as a network is the greatest strength we have. But we must keep going. The transformation of the built environment to one which is truly sustainable requires radical collaboration, and we must continue to build our network locally, regionally, and globally. It is not the responsibility of any single stakeholder, but the collective responsibility of the entire sector to take accountability for the buildings we design, own, and operate. We must reach outside our network and work together across the value chain. The building sector has the potential to not only drastically cut emissions, but also regenerate the climate and the ecosystem. By working together, I know we'll continue to catalyse the uptake of sustainable buildings for everyone, everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your words of wisdom, and thank you most of all for joining us all the way here in Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to cordially invite our next guest of honor, Mr. S. Raghupathy, the chairman of the Asia-Pacific Regional Network of the Green Building Council of the World, to address the gathering. Mr. S. Raghupathy is a gold medalist in chemical engineering from the Annamalai University and has more than 32 years of work experience in the areas of energy management, green buildings, water management, waste management, renewable energy, and even urban landscaping. He is currently the Deputy Director General of Confederation of the Indian Industry. He is head of all 4 C2 Centers of Excellence, Green Business Center, Institute of Logistics, Center for Competitiveness and Water Institute, and also he serves as the chairman of the Asia-Pacific Regional Network of the World Green Building Council. I now cordially invite Mr. Raghupathy to address the attendees.
Gentlemen, I am extremely delighted and honored to be part of the 9th Annual Green Building Awards ceremony and the formal launch of Greening Sri Lanka campaign. At the outset, let me congratulate my close friends, Mr. Ranjit Dissanayake, Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Mr. Lionel, Director of Sri Lankan Green Building Council, and also the board members on the launch of Greening of Sri Lanka campaign. This is a wonderful initiative, and this is a topic of global importance. I greatly appreciate the Sri Lankan Green Building Council on this initiative. Last year, I had the honor of participating in the 8th Annual Green Building Awards of Sri Lanka, held along with the 10th anniversary celebrations of GBC Sri Lanka. During the event, I had the direct feel of the remarkable work done by the Sri Lankan Green Building Council. I was amazed by the excellent green building practices of the several members of the Sri Lankan Green Building Council, which has catalyzed significant energy and water conservation. We in Asia Pacific Network of the World Green Building Council are extremely proud of the achievements of the Sri Lankan Green Building Council and the magnificent contribution made to the green building movement to mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. Friends, I see fundamentally 3 major global trends. Firstly, the buildings are being designed and operated for net zero carbon. By 2030, our aspiration is by 2030, all new buildings are expected to be green. And by 2050, we believe all the buildings, including the existing buildings, will work towards net zero carbon emissions. The second major global mega trend is the concept of healthy buildings. It's interesting to note that we nearly spend 90% of our time inside the buildings. In this context, it is all the more important to have the buildings with excellent ventilation standards, daylightings, and excellent views, which are the key ingredients for the healthy building. Another interesting mega trend is the concept of circular economy, which focuses on conservation of materials and natural resources. We believe using waste materials and recycling waste building material will pave the way for circular economy and sustaining sustainability in the long run. Friends, in closing, I am extremely delighted and honored to be part of the 9th Annual Green Building Awards celebration. I once again congratulate the wonderful efforts of Sri Lankan Green Building Council, led by my very close friends Ranjit, Lionel, and I also congratulate them for their outstanding contribution to the global green building movement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raghupathy, for your wise words and your wise insights. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now extremely honored and privileged to take an opportunity to invite our chief guest for today, Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Prime Minister of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, to share a few words on this occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to join you as the chief guest of the 9th Annual Green Building Awards ceremony. It is indeed a source of pride a Sri Lankan organization linked to the international green movement and dedicated to creating a sustainable built environment. The Green Building Council of Sri Lanka is the leading green movement in Sri Lanka. It has a vital role to play in making the built environment sustainable while fulfilling the sustainable development agenda of the country. Our government is committed to making the built environment green and sustainable to ensure the future well-being of our country. I believe that the launching of the Green Sri Lanka campaign is a historic event because it showcases the organization's determination to make Sri Lanka green and sustainable. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the building owners, building material manufacturers, and the business leaders who are being recognized today for their commitments for environmental sustainability. I also wish to congratulate construction industry professionals who have been trained to perform as green consultants and are receiving their certificates at this ceremony. At this time, I would like to thank all dignitaries, both local and foreign, who are participating in this event. I believe that all stakeholders of the national green movement would extend their cooperation to us in achieving the sustainable development goals. I wish you all success to the 9th Annual Green Building Award ceremony and the formal launching of the Green Sri Lanka campaign. Thank you.
A heartfelt thank you to His Excellency Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Prime Minister of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, for taking time away from his busy schedule to grace this occasion with his presence. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now drawing close to the most awaited session of today's ceremony. That is the award of certificates for the Associate Professionals course and the Advanced course for Green Accreditation. The Associate Professionals Training course, initiated by the Education and Training Committee of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, is designated to train property industry professionals to perform as green professionals who could lead the transformation of the construction industry of the country with green building practices. The associate professional status is given to individuals who successfully complete the associate professionals training course, and the accredited professional status is given to professionals who have taken part in the continuous development programs and conducted green building rating projects. Let us now start the award of certificates to the associate professionals of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Congratulations to all the associate professionals of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka who received their credentials today, and we hope that you would go forth in the nation's building industry as green consultants. It is now time to award certificates to the successful candidates of the advanced course for green accreditation. We sincerely congratulate all of you on your achievement today, which then brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to the next session of our award ceremony, which is the award of certificates for accredited professionals and new corporate members. The next session is dedicated for the award of certificates to accredited professionals enlisted by the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Congratulations to all of you on becoming an accredited professional of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, which is no easy task. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to award membership certificates to our new corporate members of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Our corporate memberships are offered to organizations that have shown interest in joining the green movement and have the potential in enhancing our sustainability of our built environments. So our new corporate members for the year 2020 are as follows. Receiving the new corporate membership in the silver category is Eco 33 Private Limited. Receiving the award in the general category for our new corporate membership is Co Energy Private Limited. Congratulations to our new corporate members. You have now become proud members of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, and we hope you are now ready to lead the revolution in promoting sustainability in Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, that then brings us to the third session of the evening, which is the award of certificates to Green SL labeled products and Green SL rated buildings. The green labeling system was implemented by the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka to encourage suppliers to produce environmentally sound products and services, to allow customers to make comparisons among products and services of similar category to make more environmentally friendly decisions. And the green labels are given to specific products that meet the criteria of the green labeling system. After issuing green labels for the products, the Council conducts continuous assessments to monitor whether the criteria that gained them that green label rating are maintained throughout. Let us now award the first certificates and plaques to the Green SL rated products. So the new products receiving the Green SL ratings are as follows. Sri Lanka Land and Development Corporation will be receiving their Green SL labeled product rating for their washed and sealed of sand. Eurostrong Private Limited will be receiving their Green SL labeled product rating for their Euro covered block. Renewing their certificate for Green SL label products are Siam City Cement Lanka Limited for their Portland limestone cement.
Sanstha is the pride of Sri Lanka, a force that upholds the living spaces of millions of Sri Lankans. We have surpassed generations and lives and stood the test of time, strengthened foundations, empowered the advancement of communities, and adorned the nation with dwelling places that last a lifetime. Prevailing across 5 decades, we are a truly local brand, manufactured in Sri Lanka by Sri Lankans, with raw materials sourced locally to ensure the highest standards of quality and freshness. Sanstha has continually strived to align itself with global advancements in standards and technology. This vision for continual development has been a key force behind our evolvement from an SLS 107 ordinary Portland cement to an SLS 1253 Portland limestone blended cement. Today, as a cutting-edge Portland limestone blended cement, Sanstha offers a multiplicity of functional and qualitative benefits that include strength, durability, exceptional aesthetic finish, and better workability. Whilst being environmental friendly with a lower carbon footprint in production processes. Coexistence and empowerment has always been a crucial component of Sanstha's long-term developmental plan, which is why we conduct our day-to-day operations with the utmost respect for the environment, while contributing to the improvement of businesses and the lives that surround us. We do so by investing in the development of local industries, sourcing manpower, raw material and services locally, taking steps to conserve the environment through quarry rehabilitation and biodiversity monitoring, choosing to build social communities through community development programs and advisory panels, and contributing towards enhancing the knowledge of the construction industry. Further cementing our position as the pride of Sri Lanka, Sanstha and the first cement product to be certified under BSEN in Sri Lanka. Sanstha was also awarded the Green Mark Certificate, Gold by Ceylon Institute of Builders, CIOB, while simultaneously becoming the recipient of the Slim Nielsen People's Award for Construction Brand of the Year for 7 consecutive years. Sanstha became the first cement brand in Sri Lanka to be awarded the Green Labelling Certification by the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, GBCSL. As Sanstha continues to traverse on a path of evolvement, we take great pride in our commitment to protect the planet while pledging to build a nation for decades to come.
Also renewing their Green SL labeled product rating is Rosel Bhatia Limited for their Virtuous China sanitary ware and Fine Fire Clay sanitary ware.
කෙවී කිය වසර 25ක දිගු ඉතිහාසය පුරා අපට අනන්‍යම වූ නිර්මාණයන් නිසා එය දෙස් විදෙස්සේ අසම සම නිෂ්පාදනයක් බවට පත්විය. ගෘහ අලංකරණ ක්ෂේත්‍රය තුළ නිර්මාණයන්ට නව ජීවයක් දෙමින් අපූර්වත්වය විලාසිතාවක් බවට පත්කිරීම උදෙසා දක්වන ලද සුවිශේෂී බව අප අන්නිෂ්පාදන අතර ප්‍රමුඛත්වය ගැනීමේ රහසයි. මේ විශිෂ්ටත්වය පුරා සැඟවුණු අනර්ගත්වය අප නිෂ්පාදන සම්ප්‍රදායයි. ඒහා එක්වන ලොව සුවිසෙස් තාක්ෂණය නිපුණතාව අපගේ සෑම නිර්මාණයකම විදහා දැක්වෙන අන්නකි භවේ සංකේතයයි. එහි සදාතනික විශිෂ්ටත්වය අසම සම මෝස්තරවලින් පමණක් නොව එහි නිම උමේ ගුණාත්මය සනිටුවාන් කොට ඔබගේ සිත් සතන් ඇද බැඳ තැබීමට සමත්ව ඇත. නවීනත්වය සහ ඒහා සමදි ක්‍රමෝපායන් සමගින් හොරණ සහ ඇහැලිය ගොඩ පේටි නිෂ්පාදනාකාරයන් තුළ කලාත්මක සහ නූතන ටයිල් නිර්මාණ දිනකට වර්ගමීටර් 17,000කට වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් නිර්මාණය වන්නේ නිරතුරුවම සුරැකෙන ගුණාත්මක බව සමගිනි. අපගේ හෝමාකම පේටි බාත්වයා නිෂ්පාදනාකාරයේ නිපැවුම් නිබඳව නවීනත්වය මෝස්තර රටාවන් හා තත්ත්වයෙන් අති විශිෂ්ට බව නව නිර්මාණාත්මක සැලසුම් හා මුසුව පාරිභෝගිකයන් අතට පත්වේ. අප ටයිල් හා බාත්වයා නිෂ්පාදන සියල්ල අන්තර්ජාතික තලයේ නිෂ්පාදන ප්‍රමිතීන් සමකරමින් දෙස් විදෙස් ගෘහ නිර්මාණ සරසන්නේ එහි අසම සම බව හා ප්‍රමිතිය නිසාවෙනි. සුගාදාමේ අපූරු චමත්කාරය ලෙසින්ම නව මෝස්තර රටාවන් කැටිකොට විශිෂ්ට නිමාවකින් පාරිභෝගික සිත් සතන් පහන් ගන්වා දිවි මන්සල එකතු කළ අසම සම නිමයුම රොසෙල් ඉස්සුරුමත් දිවියකට කැඩපතකි. මෙම අසම සම නිමයුම් පෙරේ රොසෙල් ලොව තුළ ඔබ සැම අපට සැබෑම ශක්තියකි.
Renewing their Green SL labeled product rating are Saint Gobain India Private Limited for their product of coated glass. Congratulations on all of your achievements. Let us now begin the awarding of certificates and plaques for the Green SL rated buildings. The green rating system was developed through an open consensus-based process under the supervision of the Green Environmental Rating and Life Cycle Assessment Committee. The rating is given upon thorough assessment done under the Green SL rating system of the built environment. Receiving the rating of certified is Pyramid Lanka Warehouse at Mutturajavela, owned by Pyramid Lanka Private Limited.
In an era where various innovative solutions have been put forward to meet the growing needs of people, there are only a handful global companies with the vision, expertise, and integrity to provide agri-products that meets the world's demand, while also fulfilling its responsibility as an advocate of sustainable growth and demonstrating a continued commitment to being a responsible corporate citizen. Pyramid Wilmar Private Limited is a joint venture between Pyramid Oil Mills and Wilmar International Limited of Singapore. Incorporated in 2004, Pyramid Wilmar Private Limited has grown significantly to become the leading edible oil and specialty fat company in Sri Lanka. The constructed warehouse building situated at Mutturajavela Industrial Park is used for the storage of sugar, raw materials, and finished products. From conception, the project strived to achieve sustainability by responding to economic, ecological, and social factors that bring a lasting balance between us and nature. The building is architecturally designed to incorporate all spatial requirements and social cultural needs compatible to the warehouse usage and all sustainable development. Various great features have been implemented so as to promote sustainability, such as increased greenery being incorporated to heighten the aesthetic pleasure of the premises, despite being located in an industrial zone. Promoting sharing type of parking facility with adjacent buildings and bike parks, in addition to staff having shuttles provided by Pyramid Lanka. Total roof area covered by solar PV panels, energy efficient LED light features, downward directed lights, and maximum daylight intake. Portable water consumption for flushing, irrigation, and landscaping is completely eliminated by using treated wastewater from existing wastewater treatment plant. Pyramid Lanka are honored to receive the esteemed Green SL Certified Award for its green design in recognition of its endeavors to uplift the principles of sustainable development.
Receiving the gold rating is the Specialized Pediatric Ward Complex at Ampara, which is owned by the District General Hospital of Ampara. Also receiving the gold rating is the Bank of Ceylon City branch at Panadura, owned by the Bank of Ceylon. Gold rating is the Bank of Ceylon Balasmunda branch, owned by the Bank of Ceylon. finally receiving the gold rating is the Bank of Ceylon Malsitapura branch, owned by the Bank of Ceylon. We have two Platinum Rating Award winners, and the first of those Platinum Rating Award winner is the Commercial Bank branch building at Hall Fort, owned by the Commercial Bank of Ceylon PLC. And receiving the final Platinum Rating Award of the evening is the Barbarian Waves Ayurveda Resorts Valigama, owned by Barbarian Resorts. Congratulations to all of you. You are all now environmentally responsible business organizations, and we hope that you will remain committed to the green cause. Ladies and gentlemen, that then brings us to the final session of today's event, that is the Special Green Commitment Awards. This particular award, the Special Green Commitment Award, was introduced by the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka last year at its 10th anniversary celebrations to both identify and publicly recognize green professionals who have shown commendable commitment for protecting the environment and in sustainable development of the country. The purpose of this award is to encourage professionals who are currently practicing as green consultants by publicly recognizing their commitments in implementing and promoting green building practices. And the winner of the Special Green Commitment Award for the year 2020 is Dr. Kasun Nandapala, Senior Lecturer of the University of Vocational Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's ceremony, as all things must eventually come to an end. We have now reached the end of tonight's prestigious ceremony. I would now like to cordially invite Engineer Shiromal Fernando, Vice Chairman of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, to propose the vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, time has come to conclude this fascinating and glamorous event, the annual Green Building Awards and ceremonial launching of the Greening Sri Lankan campaign. This is the 9th consecutive year we have having the award ceremony. Therefore, a lot of individuals who made tremendous contribution to the success of this event shall be recognized. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the esteemed Chief Guest, Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, for accepting our invitation and sending his well wishes to the event. Your leadership and contribution to the making the greening and sustainable Sri Lanka is highly appreciated. Thank you very much for taking part in this event today. Next, I am extremely grateful to the Chief Guest of Honor, Mrs. Tanya Cox, the Chairperson of World Green Building Council, and Mr. S. Ragapati, the Chair of APN and World Green Building Council, for joining us today in congratulating us and making a very important speeches. Your participation was an encouragement to us in our endeavors to make Sri Lanka a green and sustainable country. Then I would like to thank keynote speaker of the event, Architect Lee Sang Chai, the Executive Director of the Building Construction Authority, Singapore, for joining us today and conducting an informative speech for our virtual audience. I'm also thankful to Professor Mendis, Founder Chairman of Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, Professor Ranjit Disanayake, Present Chairman of the Green Building Council, and all the directors of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka who present here for their valuable participation and the contribution in making this event a success. I wish to extend the gratitude of Sri Lanka Green Building Council to Siam City Cement Lanka Limited for the continuous support for the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much for your tremendous support and making this event truly a successful one like previous years. Last but not least, the awardees who received the awards tonight, you were the exact reason behind this successful event. I'm honored to have you all at this event and truly grateful to your commendable commitment for sustainable development of Sri Lanka. We consider you as the true asset of us, and thank you for adding glamour to this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Fernando, for your words, and thank you all of you for being a great audience today and bringing your gracious professionalism to our event. That is all from us till we meet again next year, hopefully on an actual physical platform. But till then, thank you and good night.